Hello, it's JANG here with a look at a LEGO Legends of Chima set. This is Vultrix's Sky Scavenger, officially comes with 480 pieces. The Sky Scavenger itself is a very nice looking craft in my opinion, whereas some of the Legends of Chima sets and vehicles in particular tend to look more like the animals, like they're trying to be more animal-like. This one looks more aircraft-like, or maybe futuristic spaceship-like. And it's just inspired by the bird. So this has a very sci-fi look to it. I really appreciate the greebling all throughout this thing, the differences of colors, the differences of shapes and sizes that are put throughout here, just to give it texture, just to give it more of a believable look. It does have quite a number of stickers on it, small stickers used throughout, but I don't feel like they are super critical. I think that folks who don't like to apply stickers could easily leave them off from this build and still end up with something that looks nice. From the side, you can see the cockpit actually has a little bit more of a bird-like look than was apparent from up above, because it does have the mouth and you can open that up. But I really feel like that's nice and classy. Got some upside down building used here to good effect. It really looks nice to me, because this is the bottom down here, the bottom of the parts. And it's smooth, it's slick. These can be opened up to represent kind of the canopy section. There's no glass in there. You have to either imagine that or just realize that it's completely open air, which is okay because it's being piloted by birds anyway. I especially like this area of the craft here, kind of the engine inlet area, and it's made even better by the use of a textured piece back there. A little bit tough to see there, you can just start to see it. Just all these small details. You've got the transparent light blue used back there even. These pieces just added onto the top, little round tiles, just to change things up a little bit rather than leaving it as just plain studs. This is all very nicely done. The semi-random but thoughtful texturing continues all the way back to the back, and there's enough solidness and depth to the tail. They could have just put these feathery pieces up here, these dark brown colored pieces, but they didn't. They backed it up with the dark tan beneath. It's just so much good stuff here in my opinion. There's also a major mechanical component to this thing with a gear-driven system that goes into the center and actually controls the angling of the wings. You can bring those wings all the way down to here, where they're really, really drooping. And that just looks mean from the front and from the back. Very Star Trek feeling there. You can bring them up very quickly and easily to a nice flat, just very plain, straightforward look like that. And you can even angle them up. Look at that. Ha! You can take it farther. That's getting a little bit ridiculous there, but it's nice to have the range so that you can choose what you think looks the best. In addition to being able to configure the whole thing, you can also separate out its parts. This front section is its own thing, and you can launch this back here as well. Another separate thing. They call this the Vulture Beak Pod, and this makes some sense. Got the tiny little wings down there, but you can see those technic holes there that are used to connect to the main section as being engine outlets, and you got a couple guns on the bottom, so you're able to do everything that you need to with this. And of course it has the cockpit built into it that takes up most of the space. They call this the Turret Feather Fighter, and it looks pretty plain and useless. Maybe you could see it as being some kind of a drone that just collects information on its own, but if you put Vardy on there with his gigantomungous, ridiculous, supposedly minifig scale weapon extravaganza that he's got going on there, then it actually becomes something that's a little bit, well, actually a lot more useful, because you can still shoot with it. And he's on a turret base, so he can be flying around. I guess this thing does have to have some intelligence in it so that it's able to at least maintain autopilot while he's spinning around shooting in any kind of direction. But this does make this a powerful and just something that you have to worry about if you're on the other side. The center section in this form is officially called a wing outpost, so I think it's supposed to just stay on the ground, and you can use these huge ice orb launchers on the wingtips as basically artillery fire. So you can just plant this in a spot and it can still be shooting out. I guess it's supposed to be able to just hover itself up a little bit to be able to turn, and I guess you can angle it just yourself. Doesn't really have any official front to back motion to it, but I personally see no reason that you couldn't just take a minifigure, stick it onto the back of this thing right in this perfect spot, and then just consider that to be your new cockpit. Fly this thing around like this, or if you want to flatten the wings out, fly it around like that. Look at that, it's like a flying wing. Engines up in the front, just a little bit classic. I think this is good, just use it like that. This set is obviously focused on the Ice Tribe vehicle in this case, but they do include one small thing from the Phoenix Fire Tribe. This is Frax's Flame Flyer, and it's got flame wings and flame tail feathers. He's carrying a large bit of fire chi with him. It's got an engine exhaust back there. That looks pretty good. You know, it's just one of those small things that's added on to make sure that you are able to get some versus kind of playability with this one single set. It's not intended to be equal between the two sides. It's supposed to be lopsided, so it makes it extra tough for you to use this smaller vehicle to try to go up against the big one if you get intercepted by it. And you're supposed to get a set that focuses on something large from the Fire Tribe side in order to go against the Sky Scavenger. Vultrix, all the way over on the left side, is this set's primary character. And I really like her helmet print there with the vulture skull, and looks like it's kind of sewn up with some leather or something. The weapon looks pretty good. That's proper for Chima styled weapons. It's called the barrel axe. However, when you get over to Vardy here, his weapon is just ridiculous. It's interesting some of the parts that they use there, but the size for a minifig? No. What are they doing? Seriously, I mean, there's no way that you can make that figure stand or even come close to standing unless you're on a secure studded base. Even if you have a small plate that you put it on, it's probably still not going to be enough. You need a large plate or a full base plate to hold that. Similarly, Frax over here has a pretty ridiculously large weapon as well. Not quite as bad, but just another one that you have to hold it in your hand or attach it very securely to a large sized base beneath in order to get your figure to stand up. No fire harness is included in this set because we don't have any of the other tribes to wear them. Here's a look at all these figures with all their extra stuff removed, so you can actually appreciate all the complex printing on these that normally is mostly hidden and basically just completely wasted work. It's such a shame that they do so much work making these nice prints on these Chima figures and then they just cover them up with the crazy amounts of armor and especially the weapons that are just so unwieldy. All told though, I think that the Sky Scavenger itself, which is really the main thing that you're paying for with this set, looks great just in its normal standard form. I think once you add in the ability to change the angles of the wings with so much range, completely changing its look and feel, that just takes it over the top and puts it truly into a memorable sci-fi kind of craft sort of place where it's beyond just looking good for Chima. I think it looks good in general. The ability to detach the front and rear sections and use those independently, to me, is just an extra added bonus. This is just really great work from LEGO, and more proof that the folks who say that LEGO designers are lazy and don't have any new ideas just don't know what they're talking about. If you have any thoughts you would like to share with myself and the rest of the viewers about this set, please do down in the comment section. I've got a lot more stuff to bring you, so I will be talking to you again very soon.